彼と結婚しましたって英語で何て言うか知っていますか？多分多くの人が I got married with him と答えると思うんですけど、実はこれネイティブが聞くとすごく変なニュアンスになっちゃうんです。皆さんこんにちは、アーサーです。この I got married with him というフレーズは自然な英語を学ぶだけではなく、英語を実際に話せるようになるための鍵に気づく機会なので、今回の動画では1. I married with him がなぜ変なのか。2. ネイティブが使う自然な言い方。3. レッスンではなく生の世界で英語が話せるようになるための鍵を一緒に学びましょう。よろしくお願いします。So, some months ago, I was interviewing someone who was interested in joining IU-Connect, and I asked her why she wanted to join. And this is what she said. I recently got married with my husband, and we want to have our honeymoon in the USA. My first thought was, oh, congratulations! Yay! But even though I knew what she wanted to say, in my heart, I felt it was a little strange. Well, why is that? It's because she said, I got married with my husband. It's the with that makes it strange. Now, saying marry with someone is fine if you think about English using Japanese sense, and that's why I could understand what she meant. But from a real English sense, this sentence feels really strange. Let me explain what I mean in a little bit more detail. So, she probably wanted to say in Japanese, 旦那と結婚しました, right? And you know, in school, people learn that と is with in English. For example, 友達とご飯を食べに行った. This sentence means, I got food with a friend. 先週友達とお出かけした. Last week, I went out with friends. So it's very natural to think, oh, okay, so 彼と結婚した means I married with him. And that's speaking English from a Japanese sense. And I totally understand this feeling. Her native language is Japanese. That's her base. But this way of thinking can lead to using strange English. It's the same reason why Japanese spoken by foreigners sounds strange. You know, for example, in my case, my native language is English, so I have an English sense. And when I first started studying Japanese, I studied it from my English sense. For example, I learned that love is ai in Japanese, and I love chocolate. So to my Japanese friends, when I wanted to say, I love chocolate, I said, チョコ愛しています. That's pretty strange, right? This is the important part. The purpose of English isn't to translate Japanese words into English words. 英語の本来の目的は頭の中のイメージ、気持ち、情報、いわばメッセージを相手に伝えることです。That is real communication. It's focusing on the words themselves that got me to say チョコを愛しています, right? If we really want to speak naturally, we need to focus on the message, not think about our Japanese sense, but think about it from an English sense. So what is the sense? What is the image of I married with him? Well, I married with him means 彼を持って誰かと結婚しました. What?
Asa, I got married with my boyfriend.
Oh, congratulations, but wasn't he heavy? Yeah, I mean, you had to hold him, right?
No?
No? But you got married with him. No? In this situation, with is more like the Japanese 何々思って. It describes something you're carrying with you, a condition or a feeling. For example, I'm married with kids. This means I'm married and I have kids. 結婚している状態で子供を持っているっていう感じですね。Another example is I got married with good intentions. いい気持ちを持って結婚したっていう意味ですね。 With is for situations, conditions, or feelings. So when you say, I got married with him, you're saying you married someone while having him with you, like you married someone else holding on to him, or you had him in mind as part of the situation. And that's a really strange message, right? Well, if that's the case, what's the natural way to say this sentence in English? Well, when thinking about the person you married, you have two main options. The first option is this. I got married to John. Notice to, not with. So, for example, she got married to a doctor, or they got married to each other last year. So that's one option. The second option is even simpler. I married him. No preposition at all. No to. So, for example, she married a doctor. He married a consultant. Now, a good example sentence to show the difference in feeling in image is this. John married her with her family's blessing. ジョンは彼女の家族に祝福されて結婚した。So here, the with their family's blessing means the circumstances, the situation. He didn't marry their blessing, it was that condition. この状態で結婚したという意味ですね。See the difference? With is for situations, conditions, or feelings. When you want to have the 目的語, the person you marry, it's the direct object or it comes after to. So bringing it back to the story in the beginning, what should my student have said at that time? Well, instead of saying, I recently got married with my husband and we want to have our honeymoon in the USA, she could have said something like, I recently married my husband and we want to have our honeymoon in the USA. Or she could have said, I recently got married to my husband and we want to have our honeymoon in the USA. And you know what? She graduated from IU-Connect and they just finished their honeymoon a few weeks ago. And she was able to talk with locals confidently and had a great time. Now, I know it can feel strange at first, letting go of that Japanese to feeling and switching to the English sense. You know, it feels weird. It takes some practice to do. It feels weird at first. But as you develop that English sense, your brain will adjust to it and it becomes more natural, just like when you ride a bike. And I know you can do it. OK, まとめに入りましょう。1、結婚相手について話すときは、I got married to him, her. I married him, her. With は使わないですね。2、with を使っていい場合は、I'm married with kids. 状況を表すとき。I got married with good intentions. 気持ちを表すとき。3、英語の感覚。結婚相手を直接目的語または to の後に来るんですね。状況または気持ちは with の後ですね。この感覚の違いを体で覚えたら英語が自然に話せるようになります。Alright, 今日は英語の感覚がどれだけ大切かを学びましたね。でもここで大事な質問があります。具体的にどうやって英語の感覚を身につければいいのでしょうか。実は僕も全く同じ壁にぶつかったんです。日本語を4年間勉強したのに、いざ日本に来たら、頭が真っ白になって言葉が出てこない。それがきっかけで日本語学習を一旦やめて日本語の感覚を身につけることにしました。そしたら日本語が実際に話せるようになって、日本人の友達がたくさんできて人生が劇的に変わりました。それから英語を教え始めたら、多くの日本人が昔の僕と同じように苦しんでいるのに気づいて、生徒が同じことができるように IU-Connect を作りました。IU-Connect ではただ英語を勉強するんじゃなくて、英語の感覚を自然に身につけます。今では900人以上の生徒さんが外国人の友達ができた、海外旅行で現地の人と楽しく話せた、仕事で自信を持って英語を実際に話せるようになったと報告してくれています。 もしあなたは今の英語学習で満足しているのであれば問題ないです。ぜひこちらの動画をご覧ください。でも英語たくさん勉強しても話せない。外国人を前にすると頭が真っ白になる。日本語で考えてから英語に翻訳してしまう。そんなあなたのために IU-Connect を作りました。具体的にどうやってその感覚を身につけるかは無料動画講座で完全公開しています。メールでお届けしますので、こちらをクリックするか、概要欄にあるリンクをタップするか、こちらの QR コードをスキャンして今すぐアクセスしてください。As always, enjoy your English adventures. これからも一緒に世界とつながりましょう。See you next time!